Hello and welcome back. Today is Sunday, February 22nd. I have your four best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. How about Team USA? What a game. Woke up early, just like probably everyone else. Watched the game, moment the game was done, hopped on to record. What a fucking game. Team USA, overtime game. I felt like every single game of this hockey playoff was overtime, overtime, overtime. What a great game. But now we get an 11-game NBA slate with 4 primetime games. If I could whistle, that would have been a good whistle, but this is an impressive slate. 11-game slate. The good, the bad, the ugly, but we start our day off at 12 o'clock here, right at noon here in a few hours. Cleveland versus Oklahoma City on ABC, 226 over under. Again, no Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, no J-Dub. So Oklahoma City's running their bench mob in this game. Cleveland, 3.5-point favorite. Weird to see Oklahoma City at home be a home dog. Never really get that often, so maybe I'm leaning Oklahoma City in this game, even with the Cleveland Cavaliers looking like the new look. One of the best teams in the Eastern Conference these last few games. Once they traded for James Harden, they're getting Evan Mobley back in this game. Jared Allen looks like a beast, like no other these last few games with James Harden. But this game should be a ton of fun on ABC. 226 over under. I think I saw James Harden's had some good games. He's had some bad games. He had a pretty good game earlier this season against Oklahoma City. And OKC, I'm just interested to see how they run lineup. They keep doing this platoon. Everyone kind of plays on this Oklahoma City team, so it's going to be a fun game early on to watch. Toronto versus Milwaukee. 219 over under. Toronto, 3.5-point favorite. No Scotty Barnes for this matchup, so that's the Brandon Ingram show versus Cam Thomas and Kevin Porter Jr. and Bobby Portis of this Milwaukee Bucks. It's going to be a tankathon game for the Milwaukee Bucks in this game. They will probably lose single-handedly to the Raptors in this one. Brooklyn versus Atlanta. This is the bottom of the barrel of the Eastern Conference. 229 over under. Atlanta, 9.5-point favorite in this game. Atlanta should take care of business with ease in this game, but Atlanta being a 9.5-point favorite to any team just seems pretty weird. They're the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, so this game should be an ugly game early on. At 2:30, we get another primetime game on ABC. Could have been a banger. We are missing Jimmy Butler. We're missing Stephen Curry. So Golden State Warriors, they're down and out in this game. And they're getting Denver, who's getting healthy at the right time. Jamal Murray, I think his status is questionable for this game. They could probably take him to rest in this one. It'll be the Jokic, Cam Johnson, and the Strawther game. For Golden State Warriors, this could be a Draymond Green game. Draymond Green, he's going to be left open for threes a lot in this game, so he could splash a few threes in this game, but I think Denver takes care of business in this game. The ultimate double salute tankathon game, Dallas versus Indiana. This game is a banger of a game. These two teams are at the bottom of the barrel. The Pacers have won 15 games on this season. They're playing Dallas, who's won 19 games. I'm rooting for Dallas in this one as a Bulls fan. I'm rooting for Dallas, and Dallas is the favorite. 233 over under. Indiana, they're going to be pulling a lot of their starters. I bet some will be playing, but Indiana has 15 wins on the season. I bet they're happy where they're at because they have that pick protection with the Clippers, so they're just going to wait even longer out on this. They're just going to tank even harder. 4 teams with 15 wins on the season, so Indiana is going to hold on tight, try to get as close as to Sacramento, who Sacramento continues to lose so many games. We get Charlotte versus the Wizards. This used to be an ultimate tank commander game. The Wizards are just like, come on, Charlotte, be a part of the crew with us. Where the Hornets, they're like, hey, we're no longer this bottom tier team in the league, but should be a good game. Two young and up-and-coming teams. Wizards are home dog. Charlotte's 11.5-point favorite in this game. That's pretty weird to see this matchup just be that big of a spread. 226 over under. Nothing greatest rivalry in the NBA. Celtics versus the Lakers. This game should be a banger in the Staples Center. 228 over under. Boston 1.5-point favorite. The big three for the Lakers will all be playing this game. Luka should have an incredible game. He's been hooping. We get the Jaylen Brown versus Luka narrative battling out in this game. I'm excited for that matchup. The Jaylen Brown, who wants to win MVP, versus Luka Doncic, who's one of the best players. These two teams hate each other, and this is a rematch for Luka Doncic and the NBA Finals when the Mavs played the Celtics in this one, where those two players were going back and forth the whole time in this one. So I'm very interested to see how this game goes. LeBron James has played he's played a lot of games against the Lakers. Against the Celtics. He's had good games against them every single time. So this game should be a banger. Payton Pritchard off the bench with his new role. He's been incredible these last few games. Should be a great game at 5:30. We get Philly versus Minnesota. Another great game, I would have to say. Minnesota 8.5-point favorite. I think that's a little too big of a spread for this game. Maybe Joel Embiid doesn't play in this game, but 238 over-under is a high over-under game. I think this game's going to be closer than what the spread shows. Give me the 76ers plus 8.5 in this one. Portland versus the Suns, 223 over-under. Portland 3.5-point favorite. I do believe no Devin Booker. No Dylan Brooks, so this is going to be this Phoenix Suns team running a lineup. They haven't really ran much this season in Portland. I believe Shaedon Sharpe is ruled out, and that's the only person we've known so far for this game. So Portland pretty healthy coming into this game. Phoenix is limping into this game. The game everyone's been watching, another of the greatest rivalry in sports or in the NBA. The Knicks versus the Bulls, 239 over-under. Knicks, please take care of business on the Bulls. We need the Knicks to blow the Bulls out. Bulls have lost 7 straight games. They're 1 for their last 9 in their 10 games. So they've been getting absolutely killed against them, where the Knicks, they've been up and down and sideways overall. But the Knicks have won. They've lost 1 straight. The Knicks are right in the middle of the Eastern Conference. So the Knicks really need this, and the Bulls will gladly tank in this game. And then the late night game on NBA TV, Orlando versus the Clippers. This should be a Ben Mathurin show if I've never seen one. And Paolo Banchero, Clippers 2.5-point favorite this one. I think the wrong team is favored in this one. Isn't it? No, Orlando's going off of that double overtime game, so maybe the right team is favored in that one. I'll definitely take the under in that game for sure. That seems like heavy legs for Orlando in this game, and the Clippers play one of the slowest paces in the NBA. But a fun 11-game NBA slate. Interesting slate to say the least. Some good games, some banger games, some poorly bad games, but a fun slate. Primetime games should be a ton of fun overall. I'm pumped for all of them here today. I got 4 brand new plays here that I absolutely love. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action. And yesterday, the NBA ended up going 2-2 in best bets overall. Continue to say 2-2 overall. It took 2 overtimes for Jalen Green to get 20 points assists, but we got there. That game-winning 3 was it for us. It was a beauty overall. VJ Edgecombe, man, what happened there? He had 12 points at half, and he finishes the game at 15 points, or 14 points. 12 points at half, only gets 1 more basket in the second half. That was a weird one. I should have stayed on the Kelly Oubre train, but I hopped off, and VJ Edgecombe bombed me in that one. Jalen Duren, he was incredible against the Bulls. He was a monster all game. He damn nearly did this with just points overall. And then Josh Hart, horrible shooting game. Should have stuck with the chalk of Kevin Durant. But Josh Hart didn't make a single basket. The rebounds were kind of there, but overall the points were just not there for Josh Hart. I don't think he scored his first basket until the fourth quarter, but that was yesterday. Today's a brand new day. I'm feeling the 4-0 sweep. Definitely keep an eye out in the comment section today with the massive 11-game slate. I might have an extra added play there down below. Or make sure to follow my Twitter at DaWiddler, where I'll be posting the play as well there overall. But my first play is at this 12 o'clock game, Cleveland versus OKC. I try to always get primetime games if there are ones that I like. I always try to get primetime plays for each game for us here today. But noon slot, OKC, Cleveland. Cleveland 3.5-point favorite. And this man, he's coming off of a game where he didn't get this over for 3 points, but I think this matchup is a banger matchup for Isaiah Joe. He's been shooting the ball very well, and with all the injuries for Oklahoma City, he comes off the bench and he chucks up. Him and Jared McCain run that bench mob lineup, and I think he runs it here today. So give me Isaiah Joe to go over 2.5 threes, coming minus 124 on DraftKings. He has a great matchup here. Cleveland allows the most threes to the shooting guard position. Cleveland, these last 15 games, allow the most threes to the shooting guard position. And then these last 7 games, they allow the second most threes to the shooting guard position. So overall, this is a great matchup for Isaiah Joe, where he's gone over 2 for his last 2 against the Cavs, having 4 and 4 threes in both of those games, which we love. And he's played, I think, 6 games versus Cleveland, and granted, only the last 2 he's gotten the over, but in each game against Cleveland, he's taking 6+ threes, which we love the shot volume that we're getting from Isaiah Joe every single time he plays Cleveland. 6+ threes in each game. He's been great overall. 4 for his last 5, averaging 3.8 threes made with the last 5 games, and having 3, 4, 6, 4, and then 2. He's coming off of a game, though, which was weird. He only had 2 threes made, but he only took 3 3-pointers in that game. These last 5 games, he's taken out of 4 for his last 5, he's taken 6+ threes in 4 for his last 5. So the 3-point volume wasn't there last game. He still went 2 for 3 from the 3. He's normally averaging 6+ 3-pointers per game. And when Isaiah Joe takes 6+ threes in a game, he gets the over 79% of the time, averaging 3.6 threes made per game. So you're telling me in every single game against the Cavs, he's taken 6+ threes. He's taken 6+ threes for his last 5, and when he does, he's a 79% hit rate. We love that. 57% hit rate without SGA in the lineup, averaging 2.7 threes made per game. Over 2 for his last 3 home games without SGA, averaging 3 threes made per game in those ones. Cleveland is 26 versus straightaway threes, where Isaiah Joe takes nearly 60% of his shots from. So those 2K hot zones right in front of the three-point arc, Isaiah Joe takes nearly 60% of his shots from that. And Isaiah Joe takes corner threes. And Cleveland allows the 30th most left corner threes and the 15th most right corner threes. And he takes 13 and 11% of his shots in the corner. So those are good matchups for him in this matchup. And Cleveland is 19th versus spot-up shooters, where Isaiah Joe gets nearly 40% of his points in the spot-up motion. So overall, this should be a great matchup for Isaiah Joe. I have him projected here at 3.3 threes made in this game. He's a great matchup. Cleveland allowing the most threes to the shooting guard position. He's banged 4 in his last 2 games against them. I think he does it again here today. So give me Isaiah Joe to go over 2.5 threes, coming -124. On DraftKings, check up to my second play here in this Denver Golden State Warriors game. 229 over under. Denver 6.5 point favorite in this game on ABC. And this man, with Payton Watson going down with injury, has made this role for Julian Strawther. Definitely has been getting a nice bump overall, and I think today that continues. Jamal Murray is questionable, but I assume he will be playing. And even if he does, Julian Strawther, I like the spot for him overall. So give me Julian Strawther to go over 12.5 points, coming out -126 on DraftKings. Golden State Warriors, they allowed the 9th most threes to the power forward position overall these last 7 games, so a pretty good matchup for him overall. He's gone over 4 for his last 5, averaging 17.4 points per game, a 63% hit rate without Payton Watson in the lineup, averaging 13.9 points per game overall. So we love that. And when he plays with Payton Watson out of the lineup, he plays 22+ minutes in each game. So we love that. When he plays 22+ minutes in the game, he gets the over. When he plays 22+ minutes a game, he gets the over nearly 60% of the time, which we love. Last 5 games, he's been pretty great overall. 19, 20, 11, 18, and 19 points in his last 5 games overall. He's been great these last few games. Last game he played Golden State, he only had 4 points. Didn't play much in that game. Only played 6 minutes in that game. Now again, he's playing 22+ minutes without Payton Watson in the lineup. He's been a great road player. Over 6 for his last 10 road games, averaging 12.5 points per game. 100% hit rate without Payton Watson on the road, averaging 19 points per game. And he scored 18+ points in each game on the road without Payton Watson, which we love. Golden State Warriors allows the 21st most points versus spot-up shooters, where Julian gets 30% of his points from. Golden State Warriors is 24th versus transition scorers, where Julian gets 24% of his points. And power forwards versus Golden State, I've had some pretty big games. Hauser had 6, Bryant's 8, Barnes 10, Rury 18, Vanderbilt 13, Barlow 10, Harris 10, Wiggins 18, Noji Anunoby 25. I've been projected here at 15+ points in this game. He has a nice new role on this team, playing 22+ minutes. He's getting a lot of shots, 10+ shots, 4 for his last 5. Playing a lot of minutes without Payton Watson in the lineup, 63% hit rate. Even if this game becomes a blowout, he plays late minutes in the game. So give me Julian Strawther to go over 12.5 points, coming -126. On DraftKings, jump to my third play here in this Lakers-Celtics matchup, 228 over under. Primetime game on NBC. This game should be a banger of a game. Luka Doncic should have a great game. LeBron James, of course, should have a good game. Jaylen Brown should have a great game. And this man off the bench for the Celtics has been great with Anthony Simons being traded, and I think he continues this trend. So give me Payton Pritchard, pushing P, to go over 17.5 points, coming -130. On FanDuel, the Lakers, they allowed the 8th most points to the point guard position. And granted, he's only gone over, he did not get the over in the only game they played this season, only had 15 points in that game, but he has this new role, and it shows. 4 for his last 5 games, averaging 21.8 points per game. He has scored 26+ points, 5 for his last 6 games without Anthony Simons in the line. Once he got traded, 5 for his last 6, scoring 26+ points, and 5 for his last 6, which we love. Last 5 games, he has scored 27, 26, 6, 26, and 26 points in those games. He loves this new role off the bench. He gets hits all the shot volume once Jaylen Brown gets pulled from the game. He's gone over 7 for his last 10 games overall, averaging 20.6 points per game. 52% hit rate on the road, averaging 18.4 points per game. With the last 3 road games during this road stint, they're doing their West Coast trip. And then this West Coast stint, he has scored 26, 27, and 26 in those 3 games in this current West Coast trip, which we love. And the Lakers, they struggle versus isolation scores, where Payton Pritchard scores nearly 16% of his points in the ISO game. I think the Lakers have some defenders that will allow him to blow right by them in the isolation game. Point guards versus LA have had some pretty big games recently. Brandon Williams, 17. Cason Wallace, 12. Pat Spencer, 14. Maxey, 26. Kolek, 8. Demon, 11. Carrington, 15. Giddey, 19. White, 23. Marshall, 21. And Jamal Murray, 28 plus points. I have Payton Pritchard projected here at 21 plus points in this game. Payton Pritchard with his new role off the bench. He gets a lot of shot volume off the bench. He takes the second most shots on this Celtics team. And he's been great with Anthony Simons traded, 5 for his last 6. I think that continues here in this high-scoring matchup. So give me Payton Pritchard pushing P to go over 17.5 points. Give me minus 130. Sorry about that. My computer froze on me in the middle of doing my Josh Giddey, so this will be weird because you'll see a random cut in it, and then you're going to be hearing me talk about it. But jump into my 4th play of the day in this Knicks-Bulls matchup. I'm a Bulls fan. I'm going to be watching no matter what. 231 over-under, Knicks 10.5 point favorite. The Knicks have been up, down, sideways all season long, so maybe this game's a little closer than what the spread shows. And this man on the Bulls, he looked great last game. He played a lot. He played his almost normal minutes in this game, 25 plus minutes in the most recent game. I think he loves playing the Knicks, and I think in this one on a back-to-back, I think he has a great matchup ahead of him, and that's Josh Giddey, the Giddler. So give me the Giddler to go over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists, coming minus 113. On DraftKings, the Knicks recently, these last 7 games, allowed the 6th most points to the point guard position. So this should be a good matchup for Josh Giddey, who's coming off of a great game. Yes, he's gone over only 2 for his last 5 overall, having 22, 32, 21, 14, and 36 in the most recent game. But the most recent game, he looked more like himself. He was way more aggressive in the offensive part of the game. And he played 25 plus minutes in that game. And he loves playing the Knicks. 4 for his last 4 against the New York Knicks, averaging 44.2 points, rebounds, assists per game. Last 4 against the Knicks, he's had 33, 47, 51, and 46 in the most recent matchup. He has an 81% hit rate on this number all season long, averaging 35.3 points, rebounds, assists per game. But again, the most recent game, he looked more like himself. He's back on the court. He's had a few more practices and a few more days with these new players on this Bulls team, and then they just lost Anthony Simons in this one, so they'll definitely need a little more scoring bump, and Josh Giddey could do that. Again, last night he showed that. Last night's game, having 36 points, rebounds, assists in that one, and he's been great on back-to-backs all season long. 100% hit rate on back-to-backs, averaging 35.2 points, rebounds, assists per game, with the last 2 home games him having 41 and 29. And now he has a great matchup. The Knicks allow the 24th most pick-and-roll points, and Josh Giddey runs the pick-and-roll and gets points 30% of the time in the pick-and-roll action. Maybe he can hit Yabusele in the corner in a revenge game in this matchup, or hit Jalen Johnson this one. I think this one he's going to be a little more masterful, back to the point guard status that he normally is for this team, the lead point guard. Again, it showed last night's game, 36 points, rebounds, assists in this one. Took the most shots for this Bulls team. I have him projected here at 30 points, rebounds, assists in this matchup here. The Knicks, they allowed the 6th most points to the point guard position, this being a back-to-back at home, and the Bulls just lost another scorer on offense. I think Josh Giddey steps it up in this one. So give me the Giddler, Josh Giddey, to go over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists, come minus 113 on DraftKings, and those are my 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, let me know down below what's your best bet. I always love to tell you guys in the comment section. A massive 11-game NBA slate, a fun one overall. Definitely keep an eye out down below in the pin comment. I definitely will have an extra play in the comments section. But today so far, we're rocking with Josh Giddey over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists. Payton Pritchard over 17.5 points. Strawther over 12.5 points. And Isaiah Joe to kick us off here at 12 o'clock to make 3+ threes. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday Funday. USA Hockey to start our day off like that can only get better from here on out. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.